Aloha class. We're going to be continuing on with our project today. We're going to be looking at, now that we've set up our AWS IoT core, what we've done so far up to this point. We've set up policies. We also create a thing, a device that we're going to be connecting. And the way that we're going to connect is using this protocol called MQTT. And let me share my screen with you. And I will show you a little bit about that. So looking over here, you'll see that I've got this website. It's mqtt.org. It tells you more about MQTT, the standard for IoT messaging. And this is the messaging system that we're going to be using with our Pico W. So we have to connect. The first thing we need to do is download the client, the MQTT client for our Pico W. And then the second thing we're going to have to do is actually upload our data. So we set up our policies that allow us to connect to AWS and use these different things. So now the next step is we need to get our Pico W ready to actually use the client. So we have to download the client first. So I'm going to bring up our handy dandy VS Code. You can do this in Thani as well. The code that we're looking at here is this right here. What I have done since our last video was I took those private keys that we downloaded. Remember, we had the private key, the public key, the device certificate, and the Amazon root CA1 key. I took all of those, I put them into a folder called AWS program. And if you look here on the screen, you'll see AWS program. So I put it all in here. And I've put in some code that I've downloaded from another site. And I'm going to put that site up here because what I've done is I've taken it's basically a code project that I found, and I repurposed parts of it. So I'm borrowing code from there for this project. So I'll put up a link to it. I'll send that link out in email, actually. And I'll also send the code files that I'm using here to you so you can use them as well. But what we're going to be doing today in this video, I'm actually going to solve what we're going to be, what I'm going to have you do. And I want you to do this on your own using your own code that you made up in the last one. So if you look here, I have this temp.py program that I made for the last project that we worked on. And all this does is every 3 seconds, it calls out and gets a temperature reading. So I'm using this as the base of the code, but before we get into making this handy dandy code, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this install MQTT. And remember, I told you that instead of putting your Wi-Fi SSID and your password into an actual, into the file directly, it's better to do something along the lines of go up here and say import, or wait, from credentials, import SSID and password. So we're going to be importing this. In order for this to work, you have to have a file called credentials.py that's located on your Pico. So you have to, open up a file called credentials.py and then do an upload of that. You can do this in Thani. You can do this in VS Code by going up to command palette, and there's an upload current file to Pico option there. Use that one to move that, to move the credentials file up there. And once you do that, we're getting out SSID and password. And we could be lazy here and specify here, this is simply going to be SSID, and this is going to be password. But yeah, I don't want to be that lazy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to rename all instances of it. So in VS Code, it's real nice. You do a command D to get the next instance. So we've got all instances of it now. Now we just type in SSID, and it changes all instances of it in there. Then the same thing for Wi-Fi password. This is simply going to be password. So we grab the only other instance of it, password, and we've just changed it. But of course, we don't need this here at all. I can just erase that since we don't want to be resetting it, right? So looking at this, I noticed something off the bat. So network is going to be, okay, import network. All right, this should be good. All right, so we're importing from credentials import. Yep, that should work. So we're going to set up our station. We're going to say connecting to it. We're going to set active true. We're going to connect to it. Okay, good. And then we go down here and we're going to basically sleep until it's connected. Then we're going to say, hey, connected to Wi-Fi SSID, and it's going to tell us the name of it. For me, it's Hogwarts. And then it's going to go into this thing, the MIP install. It's going to install this program right here, which is the MQTT. This is the MQTT client that we want to be using for our project going forward. So all this will do is it'll install it, and it should look pretty clean. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to plug in my handy dandy little Pico W. So let me do that. So this should work because I've got my credentials file uploaded. Please let it work. I'm going to hit the run here, and we're connecting to Hogwarts. Wait. Now downloading and done. So it's done downloading this, and it's done the install. So this is it for this part. The next part is we're going to have to actually connect. But the next part, all right, we're going to be using this main.py code. And in main.py, we've got some stuff going on here. Once again, we have credentials that we're looking for. So we're just going to delete that. We're going to say from credentials import, from credentials, sorry, import SSID, and I'm just not remembering password. So we're going to do that. But again, we've got to select our, where is our, I should have, before I erased that, I should have gone and modified it, because now I don't know where everything is. Okay, so for SSID here, we're going to look for all instances. We've got 3, so we're just going to call that SSID. Then for Wi-Fi password, we're just going to go ahead, and that's the only one, so just say password. So now we've got it using the right variables there. So this program is set up to do something totally different. The project that they have going on, what that is doing is they have their Pico set up to a button, and every time you push the button, it wants to send a message up. That's not exactly what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. What I want to do is connect using our MQTT client, and then I want to upload data to it. So I want to be uploading data every 3 seconds or so using our temperature thing that we got. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going over to temperature.py here. And the things that I need to take out of here are machine. I think they've already got time over here. Yeah, so I need to grab, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to go through, oops, not this one here. I want you to go through your main.py and modify this in a way that it can use the code that you made before. You're going to be ripping stuff out, deleting stuff, and I'm going to do it here on the fly. We're taking code, and we're going to have to figure out what it's doing, and then we're going to have to make it do what we want it to do. So this will be a neat little experience. Haven't looked at this before. I'm just doing it on the fly. So I'm looking at this. I see that one difference is, we did import machine and we did import time, so we don't have to import these. We're going to set up ACD. We'll do this right here. We'll copy that over. So we'll set up our ADC pin right there. And then I'm going to bring over our handy dandy temperature getter right there. And I will put that up here. It doesn't matter where it goes. It's just up there somewhere at the top. And then we're going to have that loop that just goes through continually and it reads the temperature, sleeps. So for this, I'll take this in here, but we're going to put this somewhere strategically because it's going to come after we do a bunch of stuff that we need to do, like get connected and all that. So let's go ahead and throw that down at the bottom. Oh, here we go. Here's our main loop, continuously checking for incoming MQTT messages. Let's just go over here, put our handy dandy code down here, and we're going to comment it out like this. And for anybody that wants to know what that was a command /, and that does a nice little thing there. So anyways, we just modified that. We've got a read temperature in there. Now we need to set up those keys that we had. So the keys, I remember I said I moved them from my downloads directory into AWS program, and I'd named them Pico W private key, Pico W public key. So now we need to make, we need to go ahead and fill in those file names here. So for private key, we have, let's see, Pico -w -private.pem.key. Okay, then for our certificate, we have Pico W -certificate.pem.crt. Then for our MQTT client ID, that is a little bit different. Yeah, don't worry about that. Then we need to deal with our broker. And our broker is that last thing that we copied over from our website the other day. So let me go ahead and grab that. So the endpoint, it's our AWS endpoint, essentially. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this whole thing here, copy it, and we're going to pop in the endpoint that we had. And our root is going to be the Amazon root.ca1. All right, now we look at this. The LED topics are going to be Pico W /LED and button. Not sure if we're going to keep that for now. We're probably going to change that. But then let's look at what happens below that. Function that reads the PEM file and returns byte array of data. So that's going to be necessary for handling the key. So we'll keep that in there. Then callback function to handle received MQTT messages. Let's see, that is going to, it's going to take the topic of the message. It's going to decode, print it out. And it's going to say, if topic is empty topic, then it's going to say on, okay, then off, and then, okay, toggle, all right, good. And callback function to handle changes in button state, publishes released or pressed messages, okay. So that's good. So it's going to be sending it a topic T. All right. So let's not worry about that for now. Callback function to periodically send MQTT ping messages to the MQTT broker. So we've got that. All right. Then read the data in the private key, public certificate, and root files. Okay. So we're reading in the certificates and the keys there. That's fine because we're using that read PEM from up above right there. So that's just going to be, yeah, that's necessary. Then create the pin objects for onboard LED and external buttons. So this is stuff that we're not going to need to know, not need to do right here. So these are two things that we can comment out. So just go ahead and comment those out. And again, that is command / if you're using the Mac. Then initialize the Wi-Fi interface. This is something we expect to do. That's all good. Then MQTT client. It's, hold on, let's see. It's gonna be using the TLS SSL connection. So it's using client ID, the MQTT broker. Keep alive is gonna be 60. SSL is gonna be true. And yeah, it's gonna be saying the key, the cert, the broker, which is the endpoint. It's going to be sending the certificate required, and CA data is going to be in the CA. All right, so that should set up a client for us as well. Then it's going to say connecting to Wi-Fi when active is true, or yeah, so WLAN active is going to set it to active. It's going to try to connect to our Wi-Fi, and it's going to wait until it is connected. Then it'll say it's connected. Then it's going to set the time. All right, that's fine. And then, yeah, it's gonna be, oh yeah, I guess for, we're gonna have pretty accurate time in order to do this. So connecting the MQTT broker, it'll attempt to connect to it, and then it'll set a callback on, okay, then it'll connect, then it'll subscribe to the topic. Then it'll say connected MQTT broker, and it'll give that. Then it's going to register the callback function to handle changes in button state. This is an area we're going to be changing. So we're going to change this. Then the turn on board LED, we'll turn that one. I guess maybe we can turn it on and off as we send a data value up. Maybe we'll use that as a thing. So maybe we'll go up here and actually let that go. So yeah, we'll not do the button. We'll just undo this so that we can use our LED just to set that on and off. And then below it, we're saying that MQTT ping timer. We're saying a timer. We're going to do periodic to keep alive. Okay, callback, and then send MQTT ping is what it's going to do every once in a while. So did we do that already? Send MQTT ping? Yeah. So it's just going to say print tx ping. And yeah, it's just going to ping it. So I guess that's just checking to see if it's alive. So that's fine. So it's doing that. And then it's going to start the loop where it checks the message. So it's going to check the message. And yeah, so that is good. But because we're not going to do this thing where, every time it's pushed, we're going to call on our function. That's going to work a little bit differently for us. So let's think about how we're going to incorporate this here. So we've got the while loop, which is going to be, checking for, true or whatever. We can set up our function here. First of all, we can try running this just to see if we connect. I think that we should be able to connect now that I've put in everything. But remember, you need to go in here, and for each of these keys and everything, you need to upload those to Pico. So it's going to have those, else you're going to crash. So we're going to run it. We may see an error in here. I'm pretty sure we're going to see an error, but we're going to see how far we get with our connecting. So when we hit run on this, well, hold on. Does anything happen? Nothing is happening. Let me see. Do I need to, hold on. Connection lost. Connecting back. So we go from Pico disconnected to connected. Now let me try running this. And we're connecting to Hogwarts. Connected, yes, connected to MQTT. Oh yeah, we connecting to. So we're trying to connect to it. Oh, now we blow up. But we did connect to it. So we got our connection here. And the error is going to be in line 136. Because button isn't defined. That's where I thought we were going to hit it. So now we need to put in our own stuff here. And we need to figure out a way to actually go ahead and send data in there. So let's figure out a way for us to go ahead and do that. So let's put our thinking hat and figure out how are we going to set something up that's going to send a message every once in a while. Well, let's see what this over here, the timer, wait, not the timer, that's the keep alive. Over here, we're doing a publish MQTT button message. So if we go up there and look at our publish MQTT message right here, it says the topic string equals the MQTT button topic. And then the message is released if button blah, 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 pressed. Okay, yeah, so it's basically going to set up the message string is either going to be released or pressed. Then it's going to print, transmit, and it's going to show you released or pressed. Or wait, no, it's going to be the topic string, which is the MQTT button topic. Then it's going to give you a released or pressed. And then it's going to publish that. So this is good. So then the topic topic string is right here. Let's see if we have any references to that. Yeah, so so we need to have our topic constants set up here for Pico LED and Pico button. So I think these are going to be, I don't think we have to set these in AWS. Let's just go in here and set up our own, let's call it temperature. So we're going to make one called MQTT temp topic. And that's going to be our Pico W, I think we called it. And we're going to call it temperature. Or I'll just call it temp. That should be fine. So this is going to be the constant we're going to use. Let's go down back to that callback function. And the callback function, we're not going to use a callback function, but we're going to kind of mimic what they've done here in the publish MQTT button message. So let me find that again. Oh, here it is. All right, so what we want to do is really just take this. Actually, let's redefine this. We're gonna call it publish MQTT temp message. So we've done that, and this is called the what did we call that? Not the button topic, but we called it the temp topic. Yes. So we're going to go here. Oops. And we're going to call it the temp topic. Temp topic. Okay. And then we're going to say if message string blah 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 is nope. We're not even going to have that. We don't need a message string in here. We'll just erase that. And we're going to come in here and we're going to publish it. But we're going to say the topic string first of all, because that is, we're going to say the topic string, which is our temp topic, and then we're going to just put in the value. And the value we're going to get simply by calling on our temperature program, which is read temperature. So let's go down here and I will type in, where was I? Oh, over here. Okay. I'll just type in read temperature. And that should read the temperature for us. And then here, actually, let's do one other thing. So we're going to put in our temp, and we're going to set this to read temperature, because what's going to happen is if I want to print that out in the thing, it's not going to, hold on. So we put in right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the temperature. Then over here, we'll go ahead and print that out. So we're going to put our temp right there. And then, because if we put read temperature and we actually pull it in, it may be a different number than we actually send over. So that's why we assign it to a variable here. So we're going to print out this, then we're going to do that. So we're going to take our publish message, blah, blah, blah. And we're not going to have the, hold on, let's see, where is the, like over here, we're not going to have anything that it's sending to it. So don't worry about that. We're just going to go on down here to our thing. We're going to set up, yeah, our function. Then we're going to look for that function, and we're going to take out the, we're not sending it anything. So that should be good. Let's, all right, so let's have some fun. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to go down to our function, and we're going to set this up so that it's going to set it to yeah, so we're setting it up as pin. Yeah, oops, I didn't want to do what I just did there. That wasn't what I meant to do. Hold on. Burp. Now I have messed up royally because I no longer Okay. All right. That's the point to. Okay. So that's the point to which I wanted to do. I'm doing a Control Z, and on the opposite going forward is Control Y on the Mac. So I'm a little bit messed up there. But anyway, what I wanted to do there, didn't want to copy this one out. I wanted to leave that one there. But what I wanted to bring down here was the LED on and off. And I do want to remove that there because I don't want that messing up what we're doing. So what I want to happen is we're going to push the message out there. I'm going to turn on the light saying, hey, we just, send it out there. Or I actually, yeah, that's going to send the message out. And then we're going to, after we do a check on it, we're going to turn it off. So we're going to turn it back off. And then we're going to loop around. We're going to grab one. And so we should have a blinking light depending on how this is going. So you can tell, how you're doing by looking at your LED. So let's go back a little bit. We're going to have to rip out some code here. And again, this is most likely going to break because we're repurposing code. So LED pin out, that's fine. This is fine. This is our, setting up the client. This is what we want. Everything's right. We connect like we did earlier and tested. We set our time because that's very critical when using something like the broker. We set our callback, we subscribe to the topic. That should work. Connected to MQTT broker, that's fine. Now this right here, we're going to comment out because we're not using this. We're not setting up something for a button. So we don't need that. The ping timer, we'll leave this in. And then we're gonna go up here. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if this thing actually works. I'm terrified to just hit run without knowing anything, but let's go ahead and hit run. And we're connecting to the broker and we get an error. So, yep. So we got here that the Pico W temperature was 84.1. That's good. And our error is that object of type float has no length. That's very interesting. So that's on line 123. So line 123, when we look at it, that's here. Oh, wait, no, this is in our library for publish. So object of type float has no length. That is going to be a problem. I don't know how we're going to go about troubleshooting that one. Let me see. So, line 148, then line 74. 74 was, let's see right here. Yeah, where we're publishing that. So we're publishing this. It says it has no length for our temp. Our temp is has object of type float has no length. Let's try doing something like converting that to an integer and see if that, just do a very blah thing. See if we can get it to work just by doing something as simple as that, because it may be expecting text as the message. Yeah, that's what it is probably. Hold on. Yeah, so I think that, all right, so I think that it's expecting text. So what I need to do is not actually send it the integer. I need to turn that to text. So let's go ahead and do that. So hold on, because I lost where I was in here, int, and now it's going to find every print. Great, John. All right, there we go. So I want to kill that because really I want read temperature to return something else. So let's go to find read temperature, and we're going to have this return not this, but I'll just take this and I'll have this. Well, no, we can leave it like that. But what I want to do is I want to return essentially, let's say, the value here. So I want to return the value, and we'll just do this. turn this. I know this isn't the best way to do it, but I'm just thinking on the fly. So I'm just going to go ahead and string it here. And yeah, you should do just formatted strings and everything, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm just trying to get this to work. And we'll see how that works for us. So let's run it and see if that gets us any love. Because what we're doing now is we're sending back, yeah, there we go. Holy cow. So this is probably not something we want to do for too long, but let's go ahead and break out of that. Yeah, that's glad it got working there, but we're sending a whole lot of readings there. And notice that that reading is like 90 degrees. That's the chip temperature. And hold on, because we're going so fast there too. Oh yeah, because I don't think, yeah, genius me, I forgot to put in a sleeper there. So yeah, let's go ahead and kill that. So yeah, I should have put this in. Oops. So yeah, I should have put in a sleep there. Let's put in a sleep of 10 seconds actually. And let's go ahead and rerun that. So stop, and then I'm gonna run that again. Oh, connection to the Pico is lost, reset. Soft reset is done. Now I'm gonna run it. Yes. So there we go. We're getting our reading. We're transmitting it. It's going to wait for 10 seconds. Then it's going to send it again, 90.8 degrees. So then it's going to wait 10 seconds and it'll send it again. And that's essentially what we want it to do. So now, what have we done here? Well, what we've done is we have taken readings that we have taken on our remote sensor here. And now we've taken those readings, and we've uploaded them into IoT Core. So what does that give us? Well, we're working on a publish subscribe method here. So Core is allowing us to take an IoT device, push data up there, and anybody out there that's subscribed to this can pull the data and actually get that data and use it for something. You can stick it into a database. Let's say that this was part of let's say it was a sensor that was reading temperature information from an engine, and you needed something to keep an eye on engine temperature and to send out an alert message to you if it goes over a certain reading. So you could have that thing set up to take periodic readings and then push them up. So that's, a use of it. But then you've got to have that client. Well, luckily for us, we have a client that we can take a look at in the AWS IoT, and it's set up as your test client there. So you can click on your test client, and it'll tell you, please sign in again, because it's been too long since I last logged in. So I say, okay, and I go over here and I remember JSJ3 at hawaii.edu. Next. And I'm sure you want to know what my password is, and it's the middle name of my favorite student. Just kidding. So we get in here, then we look at our test client. And hold on, let's see. We need to subscribe, I believe. Hold on just a second. Enter the topic filter. So the topic filter, I believe that we put in, hold on, subscribe to a topic. Yeah, so I think that our topic here, let's go ahead and pull this up. So I probably should have looked this up prior to this, but I think that we can use, I think it's just temp and not the full Pico W temp. So let me go over here and try to get away with, yeah, let me try to get away with just putting in temp here. and see if that works. No, it may be, yeah, it may be actually Pico W/temp. Let's see if that works. All right. And so we're going to do that. Oh, so you see we've got this 89.9 here. So let's take a look at our code, because our code is still running and we're getting 89.9s here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on the chip and see if I can warm it up any. And it's not really doing much good. Oh, 90.8. Okay, I'm warming it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and go back to here. There we go. We got our 90.8. All right, hold on. This is going to be, all right, look at our time and everything. So 16, 12, 14, 16, yeah. Okay, so here we go. So we've got 10-second intervals. You can see that 24 to 34. So this is our latest reading right here. So yeah, I'm not sure we're getting this message cannot be displayed in a specified format. I have to look up that error, but you can see that we're getting every 10 seconds, we're getting that value over here. So we've subscribed to Pico W/temp. So anybody that subscribes to it can be getting this data, which is pretty darn cool, because now what we've done is we've taken our little data over here coming from our temperature reader, and we've pushed that up to the, to this AWS IoT core. And then anybody that subscribes to it can pull that information down. So now you can see how we're connecting our objects here using this MQTT communication method. And again, if you want to learn more about that, go over here to mqtt.org and it'll tell you all kinds of information about it, how lightweight and efficient. It'll tell you about the system. And it has a nice diagram over here that explains things to you. So you have clients, and a client to this whole thing is going to be the sensors that create the data, as well as the devices that are subscribed to get the messages from it. So these are both considered clients. Then you've got the broker, and broker is AWS here. So AWS is the broker, and they're basically saying, okay, I've got you bringing in the data over here. You're publishing the data. You're what we call the publisher. So you're publishing data, we're taking that, and then you guys over here subscribe to it over here, here, and here. So as soon as I get data in from them, I'm going to send it out to you guys that have subscribed to that. So we take in from the broker takes in from the publisher, and then puts it out to the subscribers. So that's beautifully illustrated here in this diagram. And then you can take a look at some of the other things that they have. They have examples of it in automotive, logistics, manufacturing, smart homes, consumer products, and transportation. So yeah, but MQTT is the standard protocol that you're going to be using for sending those messages. So this, I think, is quite cool. And I wanted you to get to the point where you can look at this and see, your own code, the things that you collect, the data that you're collecting. I want you to see how you can publish this data. So the assignment here is I want you to take your code, the temperature code that you did, and I want you to follow the steps that I did in this video. So I want you to start out by, in the previous video, you downloaded your keys and everything. So I want you to take those keys and put those in the same directory as your code that we're going to use. Put it in the same directory as your temperature code, your temperature reading code. And then once you've got it in there, then I want you to run the code, and I'll put 2 files in my email today in my announcement, but I want you to use that code and modify it in the way that I've done in this class, in this video, to take your code. Well, the first thing I want you to do is to install the MQTT client. So you just take that and run it as it is on there. After you've done that, and it gives you that little thing that says, installed or copied, whatever, once you've got that part done, then I want you to take the second one, the main.py file, and I want you to start doing what I did, which is go in there, rip out the stuff that, doesn't pertain to the stuff that you're doing. And don't look at my video and do that. You can do that afterwards, but I want you to look through the code, kind of get an idea. Okay, this does this, this does this. This is the part where they're messing with the button, so we don't need that. Throw that out. And then I want you to, after you've done that, bring in your temperature reading code, which it should be a little function, and then set it up so that in that loop, you're getting that temperature, and set it up for maybe 10 seconds. If you're doing it, every 3 seconds, that may be a little bit much, but go out there and grab that data and upload it, and then look at your test client and take a look, and you can see that it's actually printing it out there for everybody to see. And that, I just think, is neat, because now you've got that communication. Your little tiny, your little tiny device there, this little guy right here has been going out to the mothership, and it's been sending data out there, and anybody can connect to it and pull that down. So I know that this is going to be, so my big goal for this class was we would take this data, and we would, the next step would be to take this robot that I have, the Now 6 robot, and have it subscribe as a client to that, or as a subscriber to that MQTT. And I want to have it subscribe to it, read that data, and then have it do something according to that temperature reading that we're getting in. It depends on the class and how quickly people get up to speed on this. So if people can get through this in the next week, then we can move on to the robot part. And that's going to be extra credit. Honestly, that's really just going to be for extra credit. I'm not going to hold you to it, because what we're going to do here is, because there's no documentation on this or anything else, we're going to be kind of hunting and pecking and having some fun here. So we're going to use ChatGPT a little bit, do a little bit of internet searching, trying to figure out how to go about doing this. But the idea is that we want to figure out a way to set up the robot, because the robot uses Python code. So I'd like to have it use MQTT, subscribe to the feed, and then grab that data, and then maybe read out the temperature. And then for fun, we can have it say something or do some motions or something like that. That's the goal. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, that's okay. But my goal here is to have you guys getting your data from your humble little Pico and pushing out there into the cloud. And I think it defaults to Oregon. So your little sensor readings are going to be going over that big internet all the way out to Oregon, and it's going to be published out to the world from that point. So let's get there. And, I want to see that happening. So for your video, I want you to show me your code that you use. Then I want you to show me your code running. And I want you to go to the AWS screen and show me your test client there. And you're going to have to do your subscribe to it. And that's going to be the Pico W/temp. And then, start getting those readings and show me the readings coming in. That way I'll know that you got that far. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, ask me about that, and I'll be happy to help you with that. But anyways, I'll send out a lot of this information in the email that I'm going to send, or the announcements that I'm going to send. So be looking for that. In the meantime, have yourselves a great day. I just got to say, I'm real proud of you guys, because you've done so well in this class so far. And to each and every one of you have really put in a lot of effort. I really appreciate that. It's I like to see people learning. I like to see people. I've had so many nice moments in this class where I got to see the light bulbs go off, literally and figuratively, and it's been a wonderful experience. So thank you all. Let's finish this out in style. So if you have any questions, reach out, and I'm quite happy to help you. Have yourselves a great day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Aloha.